Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome again with my channel. In here we will talk about prospect and challenge of educational technology in globalization. Okay, this is very interesting, I think. Yeah, education, globalization. There is a prospect and challenge in technology. There is a prospect for the future and challenge. There is a problem, and it is our challenge to overcome it. If the society want to change, and it is all the educator challenge. Okay, guys, let's see what happened in this discussion. Okay, the challenge of educational for globalization. The first thing is that one of the most challenging aspects of education for globalization is the motivation of learners. Learners have considerably lost interest in learning. That is the worst thing for the learners. Why it's happened? First, the environment is not conducive for the learner. And then second, not availability for reading or instructional material in making learning cumbersome. The third, infrastructure is decay in fact, so evidently lacking in all levels from primary, secondary, tertiary institution. Take-home pay for teachers is a pitiful state. It does not provide adequate needs for the teacher. The corrupt tendency of the learner is late breeding. Yeah, there are so many problems, guys. Parents, teachers, students. These problems influences all the learners to lose their interest in learning. Yeah, so if we want the learners to have the ambition in learning, so firstly we have to make this change. We have to overcome this problem. For example, the environment is not conducive. How to overcome the environment? How to set the environment to be conducive for learning? First, home learning from home, teaching from home, educational from home is not conducive. Why? Because the home environment do not let us work maximally. As a teacher has family, teacher has neighbor. Yeah, when the teacher works, at the same time the family needs something to be done at that time in a home, in the house, and in the same time the neighbor make something like noise, in some variety of activity happen in society. And at that time we need a complete set of recording devices. You can see that we need a microphone, we need our voice not to go outside, and how to make the outside voice do not come to our working room, like this. And this is one current problem why it is very hard in working from home. And another, we see in working from home the time we are in society, and at that time the society have a direct access to see us, to meet us, and they can come to our home by knocking our door, for example, blah 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 blah. And so however, the solution is that we have to come to educational institution to conduct the learning. That is one solution for that. The place, infrastructure, take home pay for teacher. Okay, take home pay. If the teacher cannot make responsibility to the what his capability to the students' needs, so take home pay for the teachers. It is very possible for the teacher to take what is it, something like corruption in time, for example. The time corruption tendency also happens in learners. Parents contribute the lack of seriousness of learners, because parents believe that when the learners come to school, then the education happens there, and that is all. When the child or the students come to the house and come again with their parent, the education does not lies there. Why? Because the parent does not know the material in the school, and that is the first aspect. And the parents does not know the students need in their education. uh, Sometimes when the child come to home, then the home activity comes to the students also. Another problem is lack of support and from public and private sector. Public and private sector. Education is not one-man business in this case. There are these stakeholders, the government, yeah, from president, from the minister, and in here we have a headmaster. They have a contribution, and their contribution is guide and channel the type of knowledge imparted to the learner. Their contribution guide and channel. In this case, however, the role of stakeholder is very possible for them to manipulate the science. They are able to manipulate the knowledge given to the student, and this is very dangerous. For example, history, history manipulation, science manipulation. The scientists want the science come to the learner, but the government do not let it come to them, and it's impossible for the science to come to society. Political, yeah, they can guide, channel. That is the negative side, and in positive side, they can building infrastructure, employ teachers, and they can build something like event, yeah, sponsor, organize sport, competition, debates, quiz, raise the capability of learners. Yes, that is the government is powerful in this time, and yeah, they set the curriculum. They set how the learners become to be. They can set that. Next is the prospect of education for globalization. Prospect. This is not challenge, but this is prospect. Okay, prospect is what is hope, what will happen in the future, what we hope. Okay, information technology firstly have to spread out all over the world. The world in here, all the information, science, art, and can be gathered together in information technology in here, and then it comes to speedy movement, so it can spread out throughout, all people can access it. And now the speedy movement is also applicable to knowledge, in which a click or two, bingo, you are on the way to a whole new world. This means knowledge. So it is an easy way for us to get the knowledge with one click or two click to get the knowledge, and to make ourselves contribute in there. In this scenario, education can be realized, and harmonization of curriculum will create a balance. Harmonization of curriculum will create a balance around the world and the same result. Okay, so the curriculum can be realized all over the world, and it in balance. Why? Because the information, the easy access to them. Distance learning. Through obstacle, manipulate and overcome made perfect. How can this be achieved? Okay, distance learning. The concept is that learning from distance. However, there are so many contribution in scientists on in application data in here, in computer, in internet, and they suggest us to meet each other in the distance with video call. However, the miss or the negative point is that the meeting conducted at that time and the information cannot be accessed after that meeting. So in here the concept is that continuous assessment and examination, continuous learning. Just like YouTube, for example, a place for a video to be uploaded, and people can access video every time, everywhere, and it is very possible for the teacher, for the educator to upload the knowledge there for the scientist, and so that the knowledge which uploaded to YouTube can be assessed for 5 years later, for example, can be assessed wherever when there is an internet connection. It's possible, right? So the learning can happen every time and everywhere. The future of education just a matter of time, because the resources are in place today. Learner remains the commitment of our educational system. Public, private, sport, teacher, learner, cooperation of ability of Wi-Fi connection that easy to be get. Wi-Fi connection, internet connection easy to be get. But what about the others? The others place in this world which are not happen, which are not exist the internet connection there. Just wait until the time come and the internet will access in that place, in that area, so we have the same opportunity. The joy of learning will not be restricted to seasons or semester, but lifelong experience. Lifelong experience, not at a time only, but lifelong, in the whole life, which will continuously bring new facts and information for use. Knowledge is like thirst, which is only quenched with more knowledge. The search for knowledge never ends, and return the use of any knowledge for the benefit of man and the society at large. Yeah, I think this is all our presentation, because we will talk about globalization. I will talk in another video. I promise about globalization in here, and yeah, this is about society 4.0 or 5.0 society, and it's very interesting topic. Negative and positive aspect for human life. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.